Hello and welcome to Zinklar's platform webinar. Learn how to more consumer insights and accelerate your success. My name is Andy Ainsworth, Product Marketing Manager at Zinklar, and I'm joined by my colleague Rhys Clements, Research Manager. In this session, we will give you an overview of the Zinklar Insights platform and help you to see how you can conduct market research even faster than ever before, whilst maintaining quality as the core pillar of your project. A big thanks to the team at Greenbook for organising this agile market research session. So to begin with, for those of you who are new to Zinklar, we are a consumer research insights platform that connects brands to people, headquartered in Barcelona with offices in London, New York, and Mexico. We have a global footprint and serve customers across Europe, North, Central, and South America, and of course the rest of the world. Our vision is simple: to make high quality consumer insights available to all kinds of brands more easily and more often. Hundreds of consumer centric brands have used Zinklar to connect with consumers on a regular basis and unveil insights to help them grow. In today's world, as we move forward together from the pandemic, we understand that the level of change that your consumers and markets are dealing with today is entirely unprecedented. Accelerated change has made the lifespan of insight shorter than ever before, and the approach of conducting more extensive occasional surveys is losing ground versus having always-on conversations with consumers. That way, changes are picked up as they happen, and business leaders like yourselves can take them into account when making a decision. For you to be even more successful, your brands need to take the reins of research and be empowered to have these conversations with consumers every time they want, without waiting, without filters, and without limits. Hearing what your consumers say in their own words, being able to dig as in-depth as needed to get the complete picture. This means taking the reins of research and reconnecting directly with your consumers. That way, your brand will improve the quality of decisions and will become a more consumer-centric organization. To provide you with an engaged audience, we partner with over 300 panels, marketplace, and dynamic sample suppliers. This allows our clients to position their surveys to over 140 million consumers. In addition, our team has worked tirelessly to provide the largest country reach in the market, with 80 countries available, representing the locations where 99% of market research takes place. Now introducing the Zinklar platform. One insights platform to cover all your market research needs. Over the past 6 years, thousands of users have used the platform to develop a better market understanding by accessing the complete picture of how consumers make decisions in any new category or market, improve brand tracking by seeing how your brand performs against other market players, develop product innovation by testing new concepts and choosing the one that will take your brand further, conduct stronger advertising tests by testing your ads in different stages of creation, from storyboards to final executions, and ensure that you get all the effectiveness you need to boost your brand growth. Plus, our customers today also use the platform for identifying media profiles, measuring customer experience, understanding e-commerce, purchasing habits, and polling opinions of that 140 million consumers from over 80 countries. Users benefit from maximum representativeness as respondents reply through their mobiles, helping you connect with a larger, more representative audience than desktop devices. And our AI technology removes any nonsense responses, giving you the highest possible quality of research. Now is the time to build high quality and intuitive surveys in minutes, gather responses in hours, and deliver actionable insights on the same day, all platform. Now I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Rhys Clements, who's going to provide you with an overview of the Zinklar platform. Reese, over to you.
Thanks, Andy. I'm going to just jump out of the presentation and go into the platform. I'm going to head back onto the Zinklar project page. This is our demo environment, so there'll be a few things a little bit different to the real platform, but it gives you an overview of everything we're doing at Zinklar and how the platform works. So when you log into the platform with credentials, the first thing you'll see is a list of projects in chronological order, and you can filter them by open, closed, draft, or in progress, as well as categories, research types, and by country. You have your individual projects, and you also have multi-projects. These include things such as trackings, multi-countries, and monadic testing. Today I'm going to take you through the setup for monadic testing. So firstly, why monadic? Typically, market researchers need to evaluate various alternatives from concepts, packs, products, or advertising campaigns. Monadic testing allows you to test several stimuli among different respondents from the same target to find a winner. The results can be analysed independently for the tested stimuli or compared with other stimulus whose results have been obtained in the same way but with a different group of consumers. In a monadic setup, you get unbiased evaluation on the stimuli you're testing, and it's quick to design and set up with Zinklar and easy to analyse and understand the results. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So from my multi-project page, I need to click New Multi-Project. I then choose between a monadic test and multi-tracking. Today we're doing the monadic test. I give my project a name. We're going to test some chocolate concepts. So I'm going to call it chocolate concept. And then I click Next. Then we need to decide how many stimulus we want to compare. Today we're going to look at 3 different stimuli. We then need to fill in our objective for the study. We'll also choose the research type. In this case, it would be a concept test, and the category. So we'll go to food and groceries and confectionery. So this will create one setup, and once finished, we'll have 3 separate projects for each of the concepts that are being tested. Once they're finished, we'll then be able to compare the results of all 3 in one dashboard. I'm going to jump over to a project I've already created that we can use as a template for this webinar with some pre-filled survey questions for this test. So what we see here is the first page you come to after you click Create Your Project. This is step 1 of 3, and it's all about making sure we're getting the right people in our surveys. We're defining the target. So we've called it Chocolate Concept Test, and I've put today's date. The next thing I want to do is choose the geography of where we're going to do the survey. I've chosen the United States, but as you can see, we've got coverage across in many different markets. Next, I'm going to choose the desired sample size. This will decide how many respondents see each concept we're showing in the test. So we start always with 200. We can make it larger if you want to. So for example, I can make this 300 for this demo. And remember, this is a monadic test. So actually, we'll have 900 total interviews split between 3 projects, each showing a different concept. And you can tell this as you have this 3 times with the stimulus. Next, let's choose our sample type. In this case, we've chosen national representative. This means we'll go to 300 respondents for each concept that are representative of the US population based on age, gender, and region quotas. These quotas are particularly important for Zinklar to make sure you receive representative results for all your projects. We can also choose a predefined profile. These are characteristics or consumption behaviors we've already identified about the panelists to help you find your target. In addition, we can use a screen-out question within the survey to help you find your target. Let me turn that on for this example. If we use a screen-out question, we also need to enter the estimated incidence rate here. An important note should be made on the project price at this point. At this stage, your price is affected by, number 1, the market where you're going to. Some markets are cheaper or more expensive than others. Number 2, the sample size. The larger the sample, the more expensive the study is going to be. And number 3 is the incidence rate. The lower the probability of finding certain people inside a population, the higher the cost will be. I'll turn this off for now.
Reece, sorry to interrupt. We
That's
just
okay.
had a question from the audience, and thank you for submitting questions throughout the session. You mentioned there about predefined profiles. How many predefined profiles are available for users, and how easy is it to actually target specific consumers?
Yes, so we have across several categories, depending on the market. There's different categories and personal information that we have about the panelists are available. It's all generally user generated, so the more people are using these, the more we've got. And we always say if there's something missing or something you're interested in, we're willing to try and put it onto the platform for you. So for example, in the US, if we're doing a study on pet food, we could look for pet owners category, and we could choose people who are dog owners or cat owners. And it just gives you an extra step in the setup here to make sure you're getting the right profiles without having to use extra questions or screening questions.
Thanks, Reece. If you have any further questions throughout the demo, please do submit them in the questions tab.
Great. So I'm going to just go back to national representative now. We won't include the screen out question. So the incidence rate is going to be 100% for this. And just back to the price, you'll always see it's displayed up here in the right-hand corner. And this is always updating based on the customization you're making. So if you change the sample size or the incidence or the market, you're going to see that change. So once we've chosen our sample type, we can also make some demographic customizations. I click here. For example, we can choose instead to just target females between the ages of 16 and 30. You can make this kind of customization. You can also choose geographic areas. And for our premium clients, they can put customized quotas in. So we always have national representative quotas based on your target, but if you want to customize it, this is available as well. The final point you'll notice on setting your target exclusions. This makes sure we're not interviewing the same people from a project you've done previously, perhaps if you're testing an innovation again or you're doing a tracker. Once we're happy with everything here, I'm just going to turn off the customizations and go through to the next step. I click my arrow up here. So now we're through to the configuring part of the survey, the main part of the project. In this case, you'll see we already programmed some questions. This is to help us just through the demo. But the first thing we have to do when doing a monadic setup is choosing all the stimulus we're going to show within the test. If you remember, we said we would test 3 different concepts in 3 unique projects. So in this box, we can upload the stimulus we'll show in each project. We can write an introduction that will be shown to before the stimuli is shown to respondents. So we can say something like, please look carefully at the image. We can then choose to give it a name. So this would be concept or image 1. Sorry, copy and paste image 2 and image 3. Right now it's showing text, but we can ask it to show an image, super important for things like a concept test. And I can just click here to add the images to the platform. And I've already got some saved images on my desktop that I'm putting into the platform. You can see it's very simple to do. You can also drag and drop this in there. Concept 3. So now we've added our stimuli we're going to show in the test. And that stimuli is going to appear in the survey as this block identified with the eye. Right now, this question box at the top of the survey, but it's likely we want to ask some other questions first in the survey before we're showing the concept at this question block. You can see we have some brand questions, so probably we want to put it after that. To do that, I can just drag and drop exactly where I want the concept to be shown. Let's put it here. So now we'll ask, which brands have you bought in the last 3 months? And then which brands do you buy most often? And then we'll show the stimuli. If you need to edit the stimuli at a later stage, come back to this configuration box, edit, change them, change the labels, change the images as you like. You always have access to this. So now we've configured our stimuli, let's add some other questions to the survey. If I come to add question, you can see here we have a whole range of different kind of questions you can do on Zinklar. Multiple choice, single choices, we have long open-ended answers. You can also ask people to reply with video answers. We also have ranking questions, scale questions. We have heat map questions where you can upload images and respondents can enter the part of the images they like. And you can also upload any video, audio, or images into the survey as well. Let's add one of the questions to the survey now. And what I'm going to do is use our question library. If I open the question library, these are some pre-made questions we already have to help you start your surveys. So let's find a question we want to add. For example, I have a whole range of them here. Which of these brands is your favorite, for example? I can click here and add to the survey. When I do this, the question gets added to the bottom of the survey, where I can then customize it as necessary. For example, we might not have 10 brands, so we can delete some of them. Super easy. I can change the text very easily, so we can put a chocolate brand in here like Cadbury. And in the settings, I can also add some customizations. For example, we've got randomized answers, but I can put a none of the above, or we can get another option or not another option. So you have the settings within the question to make it exactly how you want it. We can also move the question to where we need it to go. For example, I want to put it back at the bottom. We can move the block around. And I click save when I'm happy with any of the changes I've made. You might have noticed that when I added a question, my survey duration increased. This is the final pricing element for Zinklar. Each question has a predefined estimated duration, which is based on an accurate review of more than 1,000 questionnaires. Each question added increases the duration, and this corresponds to an increase in price. The maximum duration allowed is 10 minutes, and this limit is set to be sure you provide you with reliable results from engaged respondents. As we find anything over 10 minutes, people stop being engaged with the survey. Within 10 minutes, you will be able to typically ask about 30 questions. There's also some other customizations we can make within the survey, and this is to do with how you program your logic. So we have the option to create survey logic. This allows us to only display a question if certain conditions are met. For example, we want to filter the question, why would you not buy the brand you've just seen, by the people who indicate in question 4 that they wouldn't buy it, for example. To do this, I go to question 5, I click on the 2 arrows here called survey logic, and I need to enter my conditions that will tell the platform which people are allowed to enter this question. So I go to add new condition, I find the question where I want to add the condition, which was, please indicate the extent to which you'd be willing to buy this product if available in your usual store. And I can say if it's not equal to, I definitely would buy, or I can add another condition on the same question, and it's not equal to, I probably would buy it. They'll now enter question 5. I can click save when I'm happy with this. You can also link answers from other questions to appear in another questions answer list. So let's look at the brand questions at the top again. So we have question 1, which of these brands have you bought in the last 3 months? And then we have question 2, which of these brands do you buy most often? Right now, we don't have an answer list for question 2, but normally what we'd want is any of these answers given in question 1, we want them to appear in question 2. So click on question 2, I have my survey logic, but I also have these 2 interlinked circles called linked answers. And I can choose the question where I want to link the answers to, which would be question 1, which of these brands have you bought in the past 3 months? So now, any answers given in question 1 are going to appear in question 2. At any time, you can also visualize the survey view over here. This shows you exactly how the survey will be displayed on the respondent's mobile phone. And it's super useful to try all the possible different paths that you programmed, or like the case with dynamic testing, to make sure we have our image looking correctly for each cell that we're going to test. So we're going to need to choose first in dynamic testing which image we want to look at. So I'm going to choose image 1. And then we'll go through the survey. So they'll have to start the survey. We ask them which brand they've bought in the last 3 months. So I can say I bought Hershey and Mars. Which brand do you buy most often? So it's only showing me the 2 that I selected based on our linked answers. Then I'm going to look at my concept. This is image 1 we put into the system. And then we have the scale question, new and different. And we have the purchase question. And we put that logic, if we wouldn't buy it, we should get the question, why would you not buy the brand you've just seen? And then I can enter like an open-ended question like, maybe I don't like the color. And then continue. And we have that last question that we added at the end as an example. I can just put anything here. That's the end of the survey. You can also share the preview. You click here, the share button. You can share an email address, or you can copy the URL. Super useful if you want to share it amongst your team, amongst colleagues, or with other people you're working with on a project.
Should we move on to some questions, Reece? There's a couple that have just come in just quickly before we launch that. So first questions come in is, can you also test adverts in the Monadic setup?
Yes, you can replace the concept images with a video or audio files, yeah.
Perfect. And if we are testing video, how do you make sure the respondent is paying attention to it? I can imagine that's quite a big one.
Yeah, so when testing video or audio, respondents undergo a audio and video recognition test.
Yeah.
This way you make sure the video is fully watched. And also the respondent cannot continue the interview until the whole video is played.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Shall we launch the project?
Yes, let's go ahead. So we've programmed our stimulus, we've put our question, we've had our logic, we've checked it with the preview. Now we're ready to go ahead and launch. So we're into the final step. Here we ask you to confirm the billing information. You can decide if you want to pay with your balance in your Zinklar account, or you can pay with a credit card. And we can also decide if we would like to schedule the launch. For example, maybe you're programming different time zones, or maybe you launched a campaign to go at a certain time and you want to follow it up with a market research campaign as well. You can do this. And then once I click launch here, the platform immediately connects with our providers and starts sending out the invites. I'll do that now, and we will hopefully be able to see, well, we will be able to see an example of what that looks like.
Okay, so while this is processing at the moment, I've got a couple of questions that have come in. Let's see, let's proceed through. Okay, so a lot of global brands, Reece, multiple languages. You might be working across different markets, especially if we focus on the European market with French, German, for example, Spanish. How does the platform manage these translations if it's programmed in English, but maybe I want to launch my project in Spain?
Yeah, so if you go back to the setup page, we have a translate option that uses Google integration. So with a click, you can translate all the survey content that you've programmed into the language applicable for that market. And then in your results, you have the options to switch between the languages. So for example, if you're programming in English and you're launching in Spain, you'll be able to switch between English and Spanish.
Perfect, thank you. So we can see the results are coming in.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, so this is what you'll see exactly when you're launching your own studies. The results will be coming in live, and we can see the data starting to fill up. We give it so right now there's not so many, but over time it will increase. So when you launch, this is the page you see. So we have each of the concepts we've tested come through as their own row here, and this allows you to be able to compare all the concepts against each other on each metric. And within the dashboard, you can also make some customizations. So for example, this is the scale of 1 to 10. Maybe we want to just look at, we can hide answers that we don't want to see. Perhaps we want to look at top 2 box answers. We can do this. We can also see sample sizes, and we can also add averages in there as well, like an average of all the three concepts. If you look at the open-ended answer, this comes through as a word cloud. So we see this for each of the concepts we tested.
And there's the sentiment analysis in there as well, Reece, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we use an integration that can pick up sentiment within the sentence. So negative things coming through as red, positive things coming through as green, and you can customize these colors if you wish. As well as all the customizations within the charts. Let's go back to the top. You can also filter by demographics. So for example, we want to look at males only or females or the different ages. And we also have an advanced tab where you can filter by any of the answers given within the survey. So for example, we have question 1, which of these brands have you bought in the last 3 months? If you say, okay, I only want to look at people who are buying Hershey's, I can click here and all my data will be filtered by these people. Right now, we just have a few results. We have a little warning here, just to be careful when you're making those filters, don't go below the 50 base size. So we have all the customization you can make on the dashboard, but you can also export this data as well. So if I come to exports up here, we can choose to export the aggregated tables. So within the aggregated tables, you get a column of your total, but you also get to see all your demographic information. So it'll show you differences between males and females and ages. And you also have significant testing between those as well. Within the single projects, you also can download a PowerPoint presentation with editable PowerPoint graphs. So if you want to download this chart but change the colors or put it into your own template, you can do that. And you can also download the raw data. So this shows you all the data the respondents gave in the study. For example, we can see the verbatim, we can see it in the full sentence rather than the word cloud.
Perfect.
Yeah, one more thing, Andy, sorry. We can also share the dashboard. So again, like you could share the URL, we can share here, you can share emails, and you can also share URL. And then you can share it amongst team. You remain ownership of it. They can just go in and look at the data.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for providing us with an excellent overview of the platform, Reese. We're just going to jump back into some slides to finish out the webinar. So if we just move to there we go. Perfect. Always great to see a monadic testing example. We know how popular this request has been from our existing users, and especially as a marketeer, it's even more exciting. We've seen the questions library there, which I think is super, super powerful too in terms of setting up surveys very, very quickly. I hope you could easily see in the demo how easy and intuitive it is to set up projects and launch your own market research. So whether you are an expert market researcher or looking to start your first ever project, a team of experts like Reese can help support you. In addition, there are pre-built templates on the platform to get you started in the best possible way. Don't just take our word for it. We have a history of delivering excellence to clients across all major sectors who continually trust Zinklar with their insights projects. So to finish with, if you're interested in taking the reins of research and trusting Zinklar with your market research project, reach out to our team of market research experts via the Zinklar website, www.zinklar.com/get-started. So I believe that is all we have time for today. Many thanks for your attention and choosing to listen to the Zinklar platform overview. I hope you found it to be an interesting session and provided you with the necessary information to consider multiplying your consumer insights and accelerating your success. Goodbye from both Reese and I, and we wish you all a very great rest of the day. And again, a big thank you to Greenbook for organising this session. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.